Hi. So this week we're talking about bosses demanding a return to the office and citing productivity as the reason. And my newsletter this week and these videos was inspired by an article called "Your Boss is Obsessed with Productivity Without Knowing What It Means" by Ronnie Moeller. And I do apologise again if I've got the pronunciation wrong. And Ronnie was writing for Vox. And the key message in the article was that companies need better management. Because we have management, we have bosses who do not know what productivity means. We have bosses monitoring employee activity, believing that if they're always on, they must be productive. And you know and I know that that's absolute rubbish. So what is productivity? Am I more productive if I produce more widgets this week than I did last week? Well, not really, because what's the quality of those widgets? So it's really about outcomes. I could produce 10 widgets this week and 5 last week, but the 10 I produced this week have a 50% deterioration in the quality. So again, it makes no sense to measure widget production. It's more about the outcomes and the value that's delivered. And knowledge workers is a big challenge because they don't produce widgets that you can count. They think for a living. They innovate, create, solve problems. How do you measure that? But take knowledge workers aside for a moment. Call centre staff, measured on the number of calls they answer within a period of time. But that's a metric that drives the wrong behaviours, because if I'm measured on answering more calls within a period of time, my objective is to get the customer off the call as soon as possible so I can answer the next call. It has to be about the quality of the call and the outcomes that were delivered to the customer. It makes absolutely no sense. And I saw an example of this on a consultancy gig a number of years ago now. And this service desk had a metric on the wall that they met. They achieved 55% first line resolution, first call resolution, 95%. And this was a government agency. It went up to ministers. It was everywhere, this achievement. And when I sat with a service desk operator who answered the phone, and the person said, "My laptop has locked up, it's frozen, and I can't get the application to move." Her instruction to the person on the phone was, "Reboot your PC. If it doesn't resolve it, call us back." And she closed the call. The issue wasn't resolved, but the ticket got closed, so she could meet that 95% resolved first call. Hit the wrong metric, driving the wrong behaviours. So we have to make sure we clearly define what we mean by productivity and performance.